Day 11, and we've arrived at Nairn. But it's 9 o'clock at night, later than we'd hoped for.
Being so far north, it was still light when we arrived at Nairn. We trudged across town and found the bandstand on a long route as usual. And across from the Bandstand Hotel was an actual bandstand, which we promised ourselves we'd go to later.
We quickly accessed our rooms and then went down to the bar. It was a good job we went quickly because we found they were doing last orders.
Yet again, after a discussion from the gentleman in the bar, they were discussing a single malt whisky which was very aged. So I went up there and bought a single malt whisky for 20 quid.
So, despite it being 10:30 at night, we decided it was the only chance we were going to have to go out and explore.
Plus the promise we had about the bandstand, we had to go and see it.
The sun was setting and it was a beautiful evening. We walked across to the bandstand, which was just in front of the hotel.
Kay was enthralled by the romance of it all and set up her camera on the bandstand floor to take pictures of us dancing in the sunset.
We then walked along the beach. It was very romantic. The sky was beautiful.
Kay was right about the romance. There's something eerily strange about walking along a deserted beach with the woman you love towards the sunset. Still filled with the sense of adventure, we decided to seek out the secret beach. Unfortunately, it's still secret. We didn't find it.
In the end, we had to admit it was time to return to our room. We were still filled with the eerie feeling of emptiness as we walked the deserted streets. Day 12, and it's time to leave Nairn. We hadn't decided whether to travel to Stirling via Aberdeen or Inverness, but when we woke up, there were heavy winds that caused disruption to the trains and ferries, and there was a tree on the line between Aberdeen and Inverness. So the choice was made for us, but how to get to Inverness?
The tree on the line seemed to be an insurmountable problem, but it wasn't the first time we'd had a little hiccup, and we had seen lots of buses around. So over breakfast we were discussing it and decided to walk round to the bus station to see if there was a bus. And lo and behold, there was.
At Inverness, we had time to pop in to go outdoor. Brian bought a new dry bag, and I purchased a t-shirt. As I was running out, my plan to wash them didn't seem to work as there was nowhere to dry them.
Probably due to the weather disruption, we only had 3 coaches instead of 5, with no reserved seats. The train journey started as expected as we slowly went past Aviemore, Kingussy, and then just before Blair Atoll, we suddenly had the train stopping and nothing. We were a bit concerned, but an announcement came on that there had been a problem with the brakes. They had been checked and they were okay, so we carried on. So Pitlochry, Dunkeld and Brenham, Perth, and then finally to Stirling.